Hey guys, we're finally here with the May Adios 8th edition tournament. First off, I'll be having my practice game I played Friday night. I'll be honest, all this stuff about Age of Sigmar is so depressing to me. I haven't even really going to think about Warhammer. It's like, this is just so depressing for me. I'm hoping for the best, but I'm really expecting the worst. So a lot of my enthusiasm for doing these reports was kind of gone, but I'm going to do them. I really had a lot of fun at this tournament, so I want to have these games put in no matter what. So let's start off with a look at my list. And yes, I'm using a Wyvern. It's like, this is it for 8th. Most of these models might not be usable anymore. I want to go out and style them. Everybody I saw and knew me said I was insane. What were you thinking? You're going to spend the whole tournament worrying about being cannonballed. And yes, I spent the whole tournament worrying about being cannonballed. I mean, otherwise, I really like my list. I had some neat things in here I put in here. I'm trying to get as much synergy as possible. I really hate not being able to take my troll horde in ETC, but I tried to do my best. I wanted something else that was strong, that could fight, and my only options were like big unit of night goblins with a bunch of characters, or a wyvern. So I took the wyvern to be different. And so now we'll come to the part of the battle report where you wonder, how did you manage to lose army lists? And I had all 6 army lists from the 5 games plus my practice game, and I lost 3 out of the 6. I don't know how it happened. I had them all stacked on top of each other in a folder. I don't know what the other 3 lists are. Maybe Games Workshop came to my house and took them away because they're taking everything else away from Warhammer. Who knows? But just the best I can remember of my opponent's list, I knew he was Nurgle themed. And I know when you see this, his army is incredibly painted. He wins, I think, Judge's Choice or whatever, best painted army. And it was real touch and go whether him or Gabe Thorne would win. I think Player's Choice, and basically he forgot his display port. He forgot to pack it in his car. I think that might have been the difference, or I don't know. I know that not having a display board hurt him a lot, but this is the first time I've really, in a long time, seen anybody challenge Gabe Thorne for best painted. And this is what I mean. Look at this hell cannon here. This is incredible, and it's not like this is a super hard conversion because sticking the thing from the Coven Throne over in here, but it's so incredibly painted that it's like, how does anybody paint this well? And I don't know what else to say about it. I was really glad I was able to play this guy, and he's real fun to play against. And it's the first time ever I've played against a Nurgle Demon Prince, and I wasn't upset. I wasn't upset about it. So we're just playing basically a simple battle line. The ETC scenarios or whatever are fairly basic, and there's 2 battle lines. His deployment here, he's got his Nurgle Chariot, Hell Cannon, and some Knights on this side. Over here he's got his big warrior block with his 2 characters, another Hell Cannon, his Nurgle Prince, some Wolves, and more Nurgle Knights. And also, because hills are infinitely tall in ETC rules, this means I can't see his Demon Prince, even though I can indirect fire against them, and my Doom Delver should still be able to hit. It's going to be much more difficult than normal. So we look like a mount deployment, and I'm basically stuffed in the more in the middle here. That big terrain piece in the middle, like the little building with the tree growing out of it, we determined that it was a building, I think, with difficult terrain around it or whatever. But for the most part, that's impossible for me because my savages can't go into it. So when I look at my vanguards, I don't vanguard the wolves here, but I do move backwards my big boss because the way it was looking, he had knights over me bearing down on me over here. And I wanted to hold him up with the wolf riders, but not lose my big boss in the process. And then I vanguard my other night goblins up to this building, and I'm hoping they can sweep around and start trying to slow down those warriors because I need to shoot him as he comes across. Because even though he has 2 hell cannons, I feel like I'm pretty much outgun him for the most part. So we start his turn off, and this hell cannon fails its whatever test it has to do, the frenzy test or whatever, and it tries to charge these wolf riders, and it fails. This is a close-up look after his deployment. You can see all the brave greenskins down here waiting for these evil chaos guys to try to. They're invading our lands, and we got to stop them. His magic and shooting is pretty ineffective. I think he like kills one or two night goblins from my units, and I pass my panic test from that. For the most part, he doesn't really get much accomplished his turn. So my turn, of course, I need to start helping him out now by my Wolfrider's failing animosity and being forced to charge his Demon Prince over here. So I'm giving him points now already. Now the rest of my movements, I march up my Night Goblins. My Fanatic goes through those warriors. I think I killed just one or two. The big bad moment here is that my Mangler here, which moved before the Wolfriders that are there, it needed to get like one more inch. It would have gone through that Hell Cannon, not be able to come out the other side without hitting the building, and I would have done 3d6 hits to the Hell Cannon, but instead I stopped 1 inch short. How often is this going to happen? So because of that, now I just move my Night Goblins up just to slow the Hell Cannon down. And I don't know if he really wants to keep moving the Hell Cannon, but you know, a Hell Cannon and a Demon Prince combo coming up later could be very harmful, so I need to slow that thing down. So another look over here, I had moved these other Night Goblins up before the Warfighters as well. This Fanatic also comes through, and it hits the Hell Cannon, and I only do, I think, one wound to the Hell Cannon. And I think I killed one crewman, not actually a wound to the Hell Cannon. I think it divided up where I killed one of the crew instead. So this is the huge moment of the game. I get a photo Gork off. He can't dispel it. I don't think it was Irresistible Force. I think he just failed to dispel. And it kills 13 warriors. So going along with the one the Fanatic had killed, he's lost 14 guys. He panics, breaks, and runs through my Night Goblin so that he's gone down to where he's one above 25%, I think, at this point. So I need to kill one more guy so that he can only rally on double ones. So he's got less than 5 rank and file, so I put a rock lava down. It gets a direct hit, and I do not wound his battle standard, but I kill another guy to bring him down to 4 models. Actually, I did 3 wounds with the strength 3, and he made armor saves for his battle standard. No, he made like a ward save or something for his battle standard, and the armor saves for 2 guys, so that this is actually good for him because he only had 2 rank and file guys left. No, bad for him because he had 2 rank and file guys left. He had failed those armor saves, and he killed the rank and file guys. He could have rallied his 2 characters on normal leadership, but by making the armor saves, it was actually a bad thing for him because now I have him below 25%, but he needs double ones to rally. So everything went wrong for him there. Otherwise, you can see he easily wipes out my Wolf Riders with his Hell Cannon, not his Hell Cannon, his Demon Prince. But you know, I've done so much with this. They can only rally on double ones. His battle standard, his warriors, and his other sorcerer is basically out of the game. And just looking over here, because of that in my shooting, I put a Doom Diver on these knights. I kill 4 out of 5. I think I put other Doom Diver on the other knights, and I killed just 1, or maybe I don't. Maybe I tried to kill his. I think I might have done something stupid and tried to point that at his regular guys and missed. But otherwise, I had a really good turn of magic and shooting. So now this is the end of his second turn. He doesn't rally his warriors. They keep running, and his I keep want to call it a Hell Cannon, but his Demon Prince charges my troll, breaks it, overruns into my gigantic spider. He's got his wolves moved up to try to block my savages. But if you look at this table, the big thing is with his Hell Cannons, he gets a direct hit on my Wyvern and kills my general and my Wyvern in one fell swoop. So now he's already made a big comeback with his own shooting, countering mine. So my turn to charge my savages at his wolves. I'm able to pivot and hit them before I get to my gigantic spider. Also, he landed his last knight on another unit on my other mangler and killed it. I'll take that. I'll take a unit of knights, full points for it for a mangler. I don't know what happened to those night goblins there. I've lost a bunch more of them. But yeah, I think I still have a real strong position in this game right at this moment. So to end the turn, I easily take out those dire wolves, not dire wolves, hounds. Forced to overrun like this, he kills my gigantic spider. He pursues into the rock lava. I think things are still good in my favor, but he's actually starting to take out a lot of my support at this point. And my shooting and magic, basically, I think I do a wound or two to one of his hell cannons. It's real tough to wound hell cannons because of those roll where they divide off into the crew and all that stuff. It's like a double 5-up ward save because 5-up hits the crew, and then if you do hit the hell cannon, they got a 5-up ward save. So it's kind of difficult to wound hell cannons until you get in combat with them. But I feel like I got a good position of my savages getting into combat with that hell cannon there. So his turn 3 now, I believe. His chariot charges there's a doom diver on the hill, destroys it. His warriors still aren't rallying, but they aren't getting off the table. So that's real worrisome because that's a lot of points there. They're still on the table. If he could just roll double ones, it's a lot of points I could lose. His shooting this time, is not as effective. I don't have a lot that he can really shoot at to really hurt. I don't know what happened to my other unit of night goblins. I think he must have broken them somehow at some point and ran them off the table. So this is the end of his turn, and still got a lot of points because that demon prince and those two cow cannons are worth a lot of points. This warrior's still on the table, so I'm only getting half points for them right now, with the half points for the characters. So I still got a lot to worry about because my Revern is dead with my general. So my turn 3, my savages try to charge the hell cannon and fail the charge. Take my characters out of the night goblin unit and then reform those night goblins so that the chariot can't charge my characters. I think it could probably chariot charge the night goblin shaman, but that's worth less points than the night goblin unit. Just so he can't kill all three at one time, both the characters and the night goblin unit. And I turn one of my chariots around so that it could try to countercharge his chariot if it busts through. And this is the end of my shooting and my magic. And yes, with the little shooting I have left, the 2 more machines, I've killed the hell cannon that's on the other side of that building. I'd done a couple because I forgot to mention this, but I put my mango through it, of course. It only does like 5 hits with 3 dice, and it does a couple wounds and kills. I think it kills actually all 3 of the crew, and he fails his monster reaction test, so he's got stupidity, and he failed his stupidity test his previous turn, his turn 3. So he couldn't shoot, he couldn't move or do anything that turn. So that helped me. Him only having 1 hell cannon that could shoot that turn. But I finally killed that hell cannon. That gave me some more points. His other unit, the warriors, the characters, are really close to the board. If they just don't roll double ones, they'll be off the board on his 4th turn. So his 4th turn, my war machines are all gone now. The night goblin's gone. I guess my level 1 night goblin shaman is panic and float off the table. So I've lost a lot. I've lost a lot now, but I still have a ton of points in that savage unit. He's done 2 wounds to my great shaman with a magic spell. Fortunately, you don't get half points on the ETC rules, but I didn't actually realize this during the practice game, and I thought you got half points for characters. So this is something I found out the next day under the actual tournament. You don't get half points for characters unless they're fleeing. So this is something I didn't realize at this point, and I'm going to hate that rule all through the tournament, even though at this moment it would have benefited me. And of course his warriors have finally fell off the table. That's a big relief off my mind. I've gotten them off the table, one of his hell cannons. I should be able to take the other hell cannon out. So even with all I lost, I think the game is still in very much good in my favor. So my turn 4. Charge the hell cannon. I make it this time with the chariot and the savages. You can see I break the hell cannon, I run it down with the savages who have to pursue because they're frenzied, and I just reform my chariot. Other chariot charges his chariot. I'm hoping I can do a couple wounds to it and break it. Instead I do 1 wound to it, it does 2 wounds to me, so it's a tie. And for some reason I move up my night goblins to slow down these Murgle knights, and I don't know why I did that. So basically, I'm handing them more points with this. I think I was just thinking I didn't want those knights to charge into the rear of my chariot. But I mean, the chariot and the wolf riders are worth about the same amount of points. So his turn 5, he'll Prince. Every time I'm gonna say that his Demon Prince charges my Orc Shaman. I run, I get away. He wipes out my Wolf Chariot. His Knights wipe out my Wolf Riders. He loses some to dangerous terrain going through the woods. So now at this point, all I have left is a Chariot, my Savages with 2 characters, and a fleeing Shaman. So I've lost almost everything. He still has a Chariot, his Demon Prince, and 2 Knights. So this has suddenly became a very close game. So my turn, charge that Chariot at his Knights. He decides to flee because just in case I get lucky and wipe his Knights out, he'd rather only be giving up half points for his Knights than full points. And so basically, I try to full of Gork his Demon Prince. I can't do it. Uh, Actually, I might have miscast and forgotten that spell earlier or something. But I don't rally my level 1 Shaman. He keeps running. And at this point, we basically realize, he's never going to charge his Demon Prince at me. I can never get to his Demon Prince. And the game might as well end the way it is because I think we just see if his Knights want the table. They don't in turn 6. I don't rally my level 1 Orc, and so we just add up the points from there because otherwise nothing else was really going to happen in the game. So this is the end of the game, and this is this is basically my army, what's left of it on the table. I still have a real proud Savage Orc unit here, and the chariot in front of it. So I still have a lot of points. He's got his Demon Prince chariot. I think I had that chariot at half points, and 2 fleeing Knights. So basically, when you all work this out, this turned out to a bit of bloodbath where it looked like everything was in my favor early on, but warriors are real resilient, and that Demon Prince just moved on in and was destroying everything on one backfield while the chariot was just moving in the middle and taking out all my support. So I wound up losing a lot of things because I was just outmaneuvered. I couldn't move fast enough, and nothing I had could deal with a Demon Prince other than my Savages and my War Machines. And the War Machines, once they're gone, there's nothing I could do. And they did their part. They took out the warriors, so I cannot complain about that. So when we add this up, this turns out to be a 10-10 draw. And I don't think if I had not given him half points for the Great Shaman, it would have made any difference. I think it still would have been 10-10 because I think this was extremely close. I think we were in like 20 or 30 points of each other. So even with the 140 points extra, it still would have been a draw. If that took that away from him, this would have been a 10-10 draw. But this turned out to be a complete bloodbath. Um, this is the kind of game you really want, even though especially for a practice game, because you can see how things can really get away from you, especially when you're playing Orcs and Goblins, when your battle line just falls apart. No matter how well things are going for you, you can't keep your battle line together all the time, and it's just so easy for your support to get wiped up and just start adding up points for your opponent because you cannot protect everything, and your support's just so vulnerable, and so they don't have to worry about the Savages. And if you don't have one unit like that, and when your burn guy's dead, that's where this wiped those points up, and killing my general with his Hell Cannon, that gives him a lot of points too. That gave him close to 500 points with the 100-point bonus for the general. So that's how you get a draw. That's how you pull a draw out from a victory. But anyway, this was real fun. It was a good practice game. This army was incredible to look at. I'm just going to blame that it was so good to look at that I started losing my mind halfway through the game and started making some mistakes. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Feel free to like or subscribe. I'll try to have my first game of Adios up. And randomly, I'm going to get drawn up against Paul Loister. You've seen him from a dozen reports where I played against vampire counts. He's a long-term nemesis, former fancy lad. Somehow, randomly, we got paired up together to play the first round. He's playing Tomb Kings, which is completely different. So this is going to be a situation where you think Orcs and Goblins, you got a little bonus from ETC, but he's going to have 2,700 points versus my 2,500 points. But this is going to be a great way to start the tournament. Somebody you can be laid back, not too worried about everything, and just try to have a good start to the tournament. So hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.